Hello viewers, welcome back to another section of my YouTube channel tutorial. In this video, I have an electrical circuit network problem to solve. Let's quickly go to what we have for this video. We have been given current I2 to be equal to 3 amperes, current I3 to be equal to 1 ampere, current I4 to be equal to negative 2 amperes. This I2 coming down, I3 moving up, and I4 going this way. The first question is, calculate the source current I1. This is our I1. Then the second part is determine the source voltage E. Then finally we are finding the value of R here. How do we solve such a problem? Please watch this video to the end so that you understand every part of the video, and make sure you subscribe as well. So let's see. To find I1, that is the source current, what you are supposed to do is you will follow the path to the node it is coming from. So you follow this path and realize that I1 is coming from this side. Is that not it? Once you get to know I1 is coming from this side, you apply KCL. So we are going to apply our KCL here, because at this point I1 is moving out, this one is moving away, so I1 and I2 are moving away from the node, whilst there is another coming to this side. Now that is what we are supposed to determine. So there is another current which we don't know, and that current, let's say it is A. This A will reach this, and it will split into I1 then I2. Now where is A also coming from? A is coming from this node, and at this node we have I3 coming in, I4 coming in. They will combine to give A. So our A is simply equal to our I3 plus I4. So A is equal to I3 plus I4. And once you have this, I3 is equal to what? 1 ampere. Our I4 is negative 2, so minus 2. So A is equal to negative 1 ampere. Now we know that the A coming in is negative 1 ampere. For that reason, negative 1 will be equal to, it was split into this and this. So therefore, negative 1 is equal to 1 ampere plus 2 plus I2. So negative 1 equals I1 plus I2. You've been given I2 to be equal to 3 amperes from the question. Hence, we can easily find the value of I1. So negative 1 is equal to I1 plus 3. So 3 is I2. So I2 is 3. So I1 is simply equal to negative 1 minus 3, which is equal to negative 4 amperes. So we have been able to find I1, right? So I1 is negative 4 ampere. Let's move to the next question, which says that determine the value of the source voltage E. We have to find the value of this source voltage E. How do we get the value of this source voltage? To do that, we just need to take a loop where we have this source voltage in it, and you are going to take this loop. See the path, we take this loop and we come down. It's a complete loop. So we move this way, we move up, we move here. So on that loop, what's the total voltage? And that is the E. So E being the total voltage on that loop is equal to the voltage drops. So the first voltage drop is across here. So look at the loop I took. I took this loop so that my E will be positive, and it's against this I1 direction, right? So negative of I1 times this, the first voltage drop here is going to be negative of I1. So negative I1 times 1, which is the resistor. Then I move up another direction here, which is against it, and that is the A. So the A here was what I got, negative 1 amperes. So now I'm going to make it plus negative 1 amperes. So let's see, A itself is negative 1 ampere. Now we are moving in a direction which is negative. So plus negative of negative 1 ampere multiplying what? 8, right? So you multiply it by 8. Once you multiply it by 8, then we still move here, and in this direction too we are going to meet I4 multiplying I6, and it is opposite to the direction of I4. So I'm going to get minus or plus. Let's make it plus. Then the direction of what's I4? I4 is negative what? 2 amperes. So plus negative I4 multiplying what? 6 ohm, and that is all. So negative I4 multiplying what? 6, and this gives me my E. So this is what I have. What's negative 1 I1? I1 is already negative 4, so negative of that will be 4. Here is 4 plus this is negative plus 8, and I4 is given in the question to be negative 2, and that one to become positive here, so that will give me plus 12, and that is giving me what? 12 plus 12, which is 24 volts, and that is my total voltage E. That's the value for what? E, and that is the B part of the question. Now let's see the final part, which is finding R. So to find the value of R, we also take a loop where we can get R. So we can take this and down like that. So in that loop, we have our total voltage to be what? E is equal to the sum of the voltage drops. The first voltage drop will also be this one, where we have I1, negative of I1 times 1, and I1 is negative 4. So negative of that is 4. So I'm going to get 4 times 1. Now let's see, it will move down to this. I took this down loop, and that is I2 times what? 2. What is my I2? 3 ampere times 2. So I have plus 3 amperes times 2. So once I get 3 amperes times 2, then I move here. This one I don't know R, but what is the current passing through the R? You realize that I2 is arriving at this junction, and when you have I2 here, it was split into I3 and the current that will pass through this. Let me make it B. So what will be B? I2 is giving us 3 amperes. So 3 amperes was split into this and this. So if I subtract I3 minus the I2, I'll get B. For that reason, I'm going to get plus, open bracket, I3 minus I2 multiplying R3, right? And that ends our loop. It comes back to this. So in this loop, you know E to be 24 volts is equal to 4 plus 6. Then here, what's our I3? Our I3 is giving us what? 1 ampere. Then our I2 is giving us 3 ampere. So I need to subtract, for this side I need to subtract the I3 from the I2. So it should be I2 minus I3 instead. So I2 minus I3. So plus 3 minus what? 1. Multiplying R3, because I2 is 3 and I3 is 1. So here, once I get this, I move on. 24 is equal to 10 plus 2R3. Then we'll go, I'll get 14 is equal to 2R3. My R3 is simply 14 on 2, which is equal to 7. Thank you for joining me in this video. This is the end of the video. Please subscribe, you share, and you like.